German Chancellor Angela Merkel credit EPA Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, has deployed a fail-safe political weapon as campaigning intensifies ahead of German elections, sharing her recipe for potato soup. With a new poll showing that almost half of Germans have yet to decide who to vote for in next month's election, Mrs. Merkel fell back on the time-honored tradition of showing her human side by sharing a recipe with a glossy magazine. In typical down-to-earth style, she chose a simple everyday staple that is eaten at home by families across Germany: potato soup. "I always pound the potatoes myself with a potato masher, not with a blender," she told Bunte magazine. "That way, you get some chunky pieces left in the mash." Mrs. Merkel told the magazine she likes to use potatoes from her own garden at her country cottage in the Uckermark region north of Berlin. "They're looking good, but I haven't started harvesting them yet this year," she said. The German Chancellor also let slip that she likes to eat late at night. People hold placards as they wait for an election rally of the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Credit Reuters. The interview came as the findings of a new opinion poll released on Thursday appeared to throw the election race wide open. With a month to go before polling day, 46% of voters have yet to make their minds up which party to support, according to the survey for Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung newspaper. A fourth Merkel victory had seemed almost a foregone conclusion, with her Christian Democrat Party CDU 16 points ahead of its nearest rival, the Social Democrats SPD led by Martin Schulz. But the large number of undecided voters could throw those calculations into disarray. The CDU is on 39.5% in the new poll, ahead of the SPD on 24%. The Liberal Free Democrats FDP are in third place on 10%. The Anti-Immigrant Alternative for Germany Party, AfD, seen as the main threat to Mrs. Merkel for much of last year, has dropped to sixth place on just 7%. Graphic. Germany's political spectrum. Mrs. Merkel's interview with Bunte is in keeping with her long and carefully cultivated image as a down-to-earth politician who can connect with the concerns of ordinary voters. It is not even the first time she has deployed potato soup as a political asset. Ahead of the 2009 election, she told voters it was one of her favorite meals, together with roulade and red cabbage. In previous years, she has said she likes to relax by baking her husband's favorite plum cake, and that there is never enough crumble on top for him. Angela Merkel and her husband Joachim Sauer are seen on a chairlift during the holidays. Credit BESCOOP.com. Mrs. Merkel's husband, Joachim Sauer, is a professor of quantum chemistry. He came up again this year when she praised him for helping with the shopping. "His help gives me the chance to concentrate on the election campaign," she said. If the image of Professor Sauer popping out to do the shopping seems a little far-fetched, Mrs. Merkel is quite frequently spotted buying groceries at her local supermarket in Berlin, where she pays in cash. Mrs. Merkel spoke out against the President Donald Trump's America First policy and his pledge to make America great again in a separate web chat for Handelsblatt newspaper this week. "An America that cares for nothing in the world but itself will not be a great America," she said.